But this is something that fascinates me. We both love to travel. I think a lot of people love to travel. You were part of this group of people that devoutly only brings carry-ons, no check bags.
Yeah.
So I admire the discipline, but like why and how?
Why and how? Well, why? It saves time, it saves space, it's so easy. How? A great tip, this is like my favorite hack for if you just want to bring a carry-on, bring your own bag to put the liquids in. Like I have a separate makeup bag. It's probably this big that I fill with all my toiletries, all of my liquids. And when I go through security, I take it out myself. I don't leave it in the suitcase. I take it out myself and show them these are my toiletries. They've never given me a problem. I take way more liquids than I'm supposed to. Way more.
Life hacks.
Wow, no, that's actually a good one because I always take a bag, but then if I'm traveling, it's such a struggle.
I always get searched. I wonder why.
Me too.
I wonder what to do.
Let's take a hard laugh.
Okay, well, speaking of getting searched, how about searching for ourselves? You recently went on a trip to Europe and you called it life-changing.
It was absolutely life-changing.
But initially you didn't want to go. Like, why?
Yeah, so this is actually a little bit embarrassing.
Oh no.
I have anxiety. That's not the embarrassing part. I've struggled with anxiety my whole life, as long as I can remember. Panic attacks, social anxiety, general anxiety, anxiety in every which way. And I was given the opportunity to go on a trip with Contiki to Spain, and I didn't go. I didn't go, and I could have gone, and that's the worst part of it. My anxiety told me I didn't have time when I did have time. It told me I couldn't go because I was too busy and I had all this other stuff. I could have gone, and I didn't. And life doesn't often give you second chances. Contiki gave me a second chance. They wanted to know if I wanted to go on a trip to Europe. And even though my anxiety told me no, I said yes, and I did it. And just that in itself, that I went, even though my brain was telling me I couldn't go for a number of reasons, was life-changing in itself.
I went to Europe. It wasn't a very life-changing experience to me. So how did Contiki make that whole life-changing experience happen for you?
Sounds amazing.
So Contiki is like a tour company, a travel company, and especially for someone with anxiety, it was amazing because they plan out everything for you. Like you know where you're going, you know how you're getting there, you know where you're staying once you're there. So I didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. And you're with a group of people who are also on the same tour. So you're thrust into this experience with a bunch of new people in a new place, a new country, a new continent. But you don't have to worry about any of that planning stuff. And you also, at least for someone like me, you feel safe. I felt safe. Safe to explore, safe to kind of push my own boundaries, and to say yes.
That's really rad. No, I totally feel that. Sometimes the whole planning thing is the hardest part of a trip, and you just seems like you got to like relax and chill and just enjoy being on the trip.
Well, you don't have to worry about reviews. You don't have to do any of that. Contiki takes care of it all.
Oh, you're like really inspiring. It's crazy. So I also hear that you're a mindful self-compassion teacher, and like I'm really into like self-love. I want you to like if you could give us advice on how to love ourselves.
Oh, advice on how to love yourselves. Yeah. So self-compassion, it's a big part of what I teach. In a nutshell, self-compassion asks us the question, why is it that we speak to ourselves and treat ourselves so differently than we treat people that we care about? Why do we speak to ourselves in a way that we would never speak to someone that we loved? We would never let someone that we loved speak to us the way that we speak to ourselves. So that's the big question of self-compassion. Why is that? What good is it doing? The research says none. The biggest tip or the biggest piece of advice that I could give to starting that journey is the next time that you fail, you guys were talking about failure, the next time that you do fail, like let's say you maybe don't get the grade you wanted to get on a paper or an exam, maybe you don't get that promotion at work that you wanted to. Ask yourself what you would say, how you would say it, what tone you would use to a friend in that same situation. When we fail, right, when we don't get that grade, it's because you're stupid, you're lazy, you didn't study hard enough, you'll never amount to anything. When someone we care about doesn't get that grade, right? You'll do better next time. You're having trouble at home right now. I believe in you. You're great.
That is very powerful, actually.
So it's hard, right, to flip it around and go, well, I'm just going to love myself now. It doesn't work that way. But a great first step is to ask yourself, okay, well, what would I say to a friend? Remove yourself from the equation, right? And then maybe you can start to slowly turn it around on yourself.
That's totally advice to live by. Asking about something a bit different. I mean, a lot of what we've seen, you seem like a very brave person to me. I think that's probably true. And a big act of bravery, I'm guessing, was coming out as bisexual on YouTube.
Yeah.
Can you just talk a bit about like how YouTube gave you the confidence to do that, and how both the straight community and the LGBT community reacted to that?
Yeah, that's a really funny question. The difference between kind of the straight community and the LGBTQ community. I had the courage to do that, to come out, because when I was in high school, I didn't have that community. I only had it online. And so when I became comfortable enough with myself and my own sexuality, then I wanted to give back and I wanted to share my story, maybe be that for somebody else. The LGBTQ community at the time was still kind of struggling with bisexuality, questioning it, debating its existence. There were a lot of terrible conversations going on online about bisexuality. We have come a long way in the past couple of years, which is great. The straight community, and this cracks me up, 99% of the time, and maybe it's because I'm from a small town, and so people don't really talk about sexuality a lot. 99% of the time when I come out to somebody from my hometown, they suddenly have some experiences of their own that they want to share with me.
Saucy.
And saucy, because I think they respond with curiosity mostly, and then they respond with maybe some exploration of their own that they experienced one
Like
time.
their Kinsey score.
They do. It always comes back to the Kinsey score.
Oh, man.